What's up, YouTube? This is your boy SimRenewal coming from another video, y'all. Well, I just want to start this off by saying that this video is going to be involving a clip from Abba and Preach's video. I have the full video in the description below. However, I focus on relationships, and this, what they talk about, it connects to all aspects of life, all aspects of things that's going on. So I want to show what they're talking about, and then I give my input in regards to relationships on this topic. So let's get into it.
Today's topic, I got a little bit triggered by this one. My man was bugging. If you read the title right now, you could kind of understand why.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this, for the purpose of this conversation. When people label somebody a quitter, right, it's not a neutral thing. It's a negative thing. If you label someone a quitter, you're basically calling them a coward.
Yeah.
Or someone who basically gives up too easy.
Yeah.
Right? Like they don't have any backbone, no character. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the story about Simone. She quit. Like she literally quit because of a mental health issue, right? So then that says that she's a quitter. First and foremost, she's not a hero for doing that. She quit.
Let me ask. So my question is, they're on deployment. They're in Afghanistan. They're dealing with mental health issues. They say, I need to go back. I'm not well in the head. Are you going to call that veteran a quitter?
At that point, yeah, because you're not completing the mission. You have reasons of quitting, which are your PTSD and all of these things. But you have quit. You've thrown in the towel and said, whatever is overcoming me in my head can make me continue.
If I break my leg during an Olympic track meet and I can't
You
go
didn't
on.
break a leg, though.
No. Because they can't go on. That's what they're saying. I can't go on.
But not because of your leg. If you get injured because of the sport, right? Like let's say LeBron.
For some people, an injury is only physical.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, for the basis of people, he got injured. If you're not mentally there, your body's still there. One of your biggest organs in anything is your head, where your head's at. You could have all your limbs, and if your head's not there, you're not gonna be able to perform.
Yeah.
You know, you ever heard about cracking under the pressure? That's what it is. But to a lot of people, breaking a leg and breaking your mental, you broke your leg. Mental, nah.
That attitude is exactly what led to so many people not being taken seriously for PTSD for decades.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it wasn't even a thing for most folks. They didn't take it seriously. You could have PTSD, went to the doctor in the military, and they'd be like, no.
To this day.
I mean, to this day, they still send people.
To this day.
If you feel like your PTSD is not severe enough, just get back out there. It's like,
to this day. Yeah.
So it's a very clear indication of how people view mental health issues versus physical issues. Because one is visible, the other one's in your head. So people are ready to doubt you.
I'm gonna stop it right there. You all can watch the full video, yet I'm going to pull this back towards the topic that I want to speak about today, and that matters in every aspect. I want to talk about the mental space of an individual while they're in or trying to get into a relationship. Honestly, I want to use this analogy. We as human beings, when going from relationship to relationship, is effectively like being a hamster on a wheel running and feeling injured, getting injured due to continuously running on that one wheel. And instead of healing the wound, we get off one hamster wheel and get on another one and start the same race running, thinking that the different hamster wheel is going to fix our problems, not actually fixing what is hurt. What Abba and Preach is talking about is mental illness, and honestly, I want to say that to a certain degree, how we carry going from relationship to relationship is almost like a mental illness. It's almost toxic in perspective if you do not take time to get your mind right. Men and women are very different. They're very different in relationships, very different in commitment, and the amount of effort and energy that's put in is different for different people. Most men can detach their emotions from the relationship, um, I guess, early on and move more strategically to their next partner. Whereas women are very much emotionally invested in said relationships, and when they're over, they're not over. When they leave and find someone else, that past relationship is normally not gone. I'm not saying that there's no men that does this. I'm not saying that it's all women that does this. Yet I want to just say, for women who managed to watch this video, if you ran into a man that carries the burdens and the issues of their previous relationship onto the next relationship with you, if you've ever experienced it, then have you noticed that that man is coming off, he comes off and manipulates majority of the initial engagement and constantly makes it seem like, hey, you can't do said thing to me due to how she did this to me. So you might really be feeling him, you really have a vibe with him. He actually likes you some, yet he's now controlling how you even can potentially interact in the relationship. And if it was more natural, yeah, if you have some baggage and he walks away from that, that's fine. But that just simply prolongs a toxic relationship before, and I'm talking about it from a man doing it to a woman. It prolongs a toxic relationship because for women, they are emotionally invested, like I said. So they're going to continue trying to move around those emotional barriers that he has. And maybe if this is a woman's perspective most times, maybe if I show him that I am not her and better than her, then he won't feel this defensive with me. So she's gonna try to do her best to be with him, yet he's manipulating the relationship. Vice versa, if we talk about a woman who's been hurt or scorned and things of that nature who goes into the next relationship, and there are more women that does this than men from my perspective. I'm a guy, I don't date guys. So when that is carried over, she's not in a healthy mental space. She's that hamster on that hamster wheel looking at your area thinking, okay, it might be better over there. Yet she still has the same flow, the same motion. No matter if she changes her clothes, she looks real nice. She's getting her hair done. She's doing all these things to present herself like she's a full woman. She is still probably half or one third or three fourths or whatever. Whatever piece of her that is still left in that past relationship, she needs to take more time. I know this might not be practical for many people, but if you have been in a serious relationship, let's say you've been in a serious relationship for 3 years. I don't know how many people that actually do this, but this is a potential tip. If you've been in a serious relationship for 3 years and it ends for whatever the reason, I would say, men and women, please take at least a year of not being in a serious relationship to a year to a year and a half. Determine how deep you were in emotionally within that relationship. It gives you time to detox your mind because your mind is the that what makes you who you are. Effectively, your mental space is what makes you who you are. If your mental space is extremely toxic from the previous experiences, then no matter how you try to push forward with this relationship, there are going to be problems. And then you're more likely to lose an individual that is actually good for you, actually a good pick. You might have picked well, but you're not in the right mental space to keep him or her. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's just on one basis. Yet, understand the mental place that you're in, your mental space, is extremely important, people. And we need to take it a lot more serious if you went through traumatizing experiences. You've never really fixed the issue and you've jumped from relationship to relationship. So maybe the last relationship you were in was nothing was seriously wrong, yet it was a combination of all your previous experiences with that last experience that you need to seek either counseling. Most people need to seek counseling, let's just be honest. Seek counseling or just find a way to know that you have this issue and you need to get it out before you get with someone else. Because there's so many relationships being scarred. Honestly, most you have two perspectives on feminists. One are the ones that are being indoctrinated from the time period of their childhood and it being explained what feminists are. Then you have women who are feminists through their negative experiences with men, and all they're doing, they're never healing, and they're always hearing from everything else in the world to say, you're better off without said this person, this guy, men. You can do it all by yourself. You can make all your money. You can do all that. That's how the feminist, toxic, terrible feminists are created. I said this to my wife. The difference between a healthy-minded leader and a dictator is a leader is a person that takes in consideration of themselves in the party that they're leading. They cannot be successful if the entire body is not successful. A dictator is a leader who only cares about what they have going on. Which, if you're in a relationship, there's going to be either a leader or a dictator. And just doesn't make people understand that is why I talk about the mental space and how it could be toxic, extremely toxic in a relationship perspective. You have two people trying to be leaders in one relationship. There's not going to be two leaders in one relationship. There's one leader. Because one of y'all, let's be honest, if given the power, will become a dictator. So people, please seek help, mental space before you get into stuff, and be intentional about what you're trying to get into. All right, peace.